What's happening, people? YouTube, how's it going? Now, this video, I was actually intending to make a slightly different video, but then before I got around to it, um, I then basically heard some of the early reviews and whatnot of Blue Beetle, and then happened to see some interviews with the cast, which just basically tied in nicely with the video that I originally intended to make, which was basically about diversity. And like you hear it all the time, different people they go, oh well, not I'm all for diversity, and I think diversity is a good thing, and yet these people are really thinking, I'm actually sick of hearing about it. Why is it an issue? I didn't have an issue with it in the first place, and the only reason I wouldn't like diversity, basically, is when it is forced down your throat, when it's just virtue signaling. That's what they're really thinking, or at least that's what I think they think, because that's sort of how I think. I've never had a problem with diversity. Never. But there's a time and a place. You wouldn't have you wouldn't have Israeli people playing Zulus, right? You wouldn't have um, black people playing Nazis. You wouldn't have flipping like Italian Mediterranean type people playing Eskimos. It's just like I say, there's a time and a place for it. And if you're looking at the modern world, especially cities, uh, they are diverse, and it's existed for decades, really. But this thing now, and it's actually started to get annoying because that's one of the things they keep saying represent the world we live in today. See yourself on screen, like, and I'm thinking I didn't see anyone like me, short, fat, and ugly, like, but a thing I picked up on, well, 2001: Space Odyssey. Watching that as a child, and the bit where the computer starts going like crazy, basically, and you've got the two astronauts on board, and they get into like that little pod to talk, but the computer can basically read the lips because you can actually still see them, sort of thing. But I remember watching that, and even as a child, I thought those would be the guys you would want on that spaceship doing that mission. The best of the best. They've trained, and that's why they're there, right? And obviously, NASA, what they thought at the time, the best of the best, they got test pilots and all the rest of it. And henceforth, I'm trying to think of his name now. Buzz Aldrin. Oh, Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. Like, but now it's like they're forcing this diversity, as in like representation and seeing yourself represented on screen and that. But then they're just using a small segment of the world of a small portion of the ethnicity available to them to do it, but then like the personality or the cultural difference or whatever is very homogenized, like very, and perfect example. Um, I actually did a little bit of research for this one, wrote it down. Right, the guy who's just played uh, Adam and Adam Warlock in Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Will Poulter, I didn't actually know it was him at first, right? But if you watch him in Wild Bell, right, he plays a teenage white lad who's looking after his younger brother. His father's locked up, his mum's gone away, and the lad's got a bit of attitude and stuff, right? And I could sympathise with that. Like I could connect with that. Like I know many lads like that, white, black, brown, different colours, but sort of been in that situation, right? Um, he was also in Maze Runner, where because he was one of the earliest lads to be put in this situation and one of the oldest, he'd seen people killed. Um, his main focus was staying alive, keeping mostly younger than him, alive, fed, keeping themselves organised, and all the rest of it, keeping control, sort of thing. And how he acted in that was how you'd expect someone to be in that, like, and if you was in that situation, you could sort of understand. Um, so, um, going into Galaxy 3, yeah, he plays Adam Warlock, a bit of a daft, whatever, like. But my point is, there's another actor, and I'll just get his name right, Amir Wilson, and I came across him watching A Letter to the King, and I started watching it, and I was slowly getting into it. But his character, I don't know why, because he became like the lead character. I stopped watching it. I thought maybe this is aimed at a younger audience than me. And I thought it was a shame because I could imagine enjoying it. Um, so yeah, I stopped watching it. I just thought, oh, I don't like him. Like, it's not his fault. It's how his character's written or meant to be. But then I started watching his Dark Materials, and he's in that. It's like he's not the lead, but he's like becomes sort of like a co-lead. And then that he's acting like a effeminate, like a real soy boy. And I'm like thinking, he's acting like dumb, almost retarded, like in situations. He got no testicles of any size that I could tell. All the girls had, bigger bollocks than he did. Really off-putting, really off-putting. I mean, I must admit, the very last couple of episodes, he sort of, in the last season, he pulled it back a bit. I'm not sure if they're making another season or not, like, but I just remember when he come into it and thinking, oh, he's acting the same as he did in the other one. Like, this is, I don't know many lads like that, or if they did, they got bullied a bit at school. Anyway, I was talking to a friend a couple of weeks ago, and he says, "Have you seen a series called C?" I was like, "No, mate, no." He says, "Oh, you want to give that a try?" So we starts watching it, and basically, everybody's lost the eyesight, like, but these two babies are born, and they can see. Anyway, as the teenagers, you would think there's a boy and a girl. You would think, in that sort of environment where no one can see, and they've gone back to like hunter-gatherer stage. What an advantage! They learn to read, and I don't think it's the real dad, but the guy who's looking after him anyway, played by Jason Momoa. So top rate hunter, and you think he'd teach them to hunt, to fight, to defend themselves, master archers, and especially the lad being the male, and these are after post adolescence, then that lad would be the dominant force, the main sort of protector of the people, stamp his authority. Um, I mean, the city near where I lived, if you were the only guy that could see, you would soon be in charge, running things. But in this, I can't believe it. Another diverse character. This is what I mean. That diversity. They sort of like to change the skin color, but they're not changing the character or the personality. They all seem to be the same. And there's a bit they're going downstream on a raft, and they're getting attacked. Jason Momoa, who can't see, gets in the water to because they know that they can sense that they're being hunted and there's people there in place to get them. And the one man who can see, who has got a bow and arrow, doesn't do anything. He just basically cowers at the back of the raft. His sister, who is a female who can also see, is into Boss Girl or a Mary Sue, not up to this point anyway. But she isn't really that good either, to be honest. And then there's a small like white chick who can't see, who not only defends herself, but saves somebody else, and she gets stabbed in the leg, and yet this lad who's got a bow and arrow, and my missus sat next to me going, he's got a bow and arrow, why don't he use it? And I remember saying to her, oh, it's him out of his dot materials all over again. This thing, they seem to keep writing them the same, and then, like I say, and then before I made this video, I see the stuff for the Blue Beetle, and I'm like, oh, so it's a film about Latino, Latinx people. This lad, this family, and it's all about family, and it's so nice about the family, and it's so nice that it's not based in America, so it's something different, and it's Latinx, and it's Latinox, and it's so good that he's playing this part, and they've got the family and superhero and Latinx, and I'm just thinking, oh no, he's just another soy-based diet diversity person. Then that's what you're gonna sell this film as. It's based in Latino X place. I think it's supposed to be Brazil. I don't know. I mean, whenever I think of Brazil, I just think of like sexy women on beaches. Other than that, it's like crooked high-rise flats and stuff. But I don't know. And like I say, he was all right in Cobra Kai, how he was written, sort of thing. But in this, he's obviously written like if he didn't have the suit, he would just be another cowering, useless joke, basically. And they're saying that this is, well, like I said, the selling point. They're trying to sell it on, oh, it's something different. It's not like any other super. And I'm like, no, this is exactly like, um, well, you look at flipping Shazam. Oh, that was annoying. Um, charge your phone. Your phone's charged. Your phone's charged. Like I say, Will Porter, uh, what you call it? Wild Bill. Brilliant film. I'm not sure if it's actually based on a true story or loosely based on a true story, but you watch it and you think that is. I know people that have been in that situation, exactly like that situation, and how he acts in that is how a normal lad of that age I would expect to pretty much act, unless he'd been wrapped in cotton wool all his life. It really is like, and all the family, everything's always perfect, and doing the silly things that they do, and un- Uncle John is really a she, and she is really a spy for MI16 or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just like, no, life's actually quite hard, and yeah, you do have laughs, but not in this way. Not when stuff gets serious. I don't know, but all I'm saying is, I actually thought Blue Beetle. Oh, he's one of them. It's like Spider Man, but could be worth watching. Might have a laugh, but like I say, I see the interviews with the actors and the early reviews, and I'm thinking diversity, family, like happy families, and reluctant superhero. Uh, no, sorry, been there, done that. I don't know. What do you think? Drop me a comment. Am I just being sour? Anyway, thanks for listening. Please subscribe, share, like, all the rest of it. And as always, have a good day. Thank you.